All right, there we go. Finally came on. Took a minute to get up there. Do the old chat check. Hey, all right. William Wagman, happy Mother's Day to you as well. Mark Barnum, hope for a clean race today. Surprised the truck series was cleaner than Xfinity. Yep, that was kind of weird. What's up, Homer? Mark Barnum, what's up? And also saying what's up to Homer. And there we go. Chat looks good. So we will jump into it. So if you're setting your fantasy lineup, your best average finishers are going to be Denny Hamlin, James Dennis Allen Hamlin with a 6.9. He is going to be your best average finisher at Darlington. Your second best average finisher is going to be a tie with Kevin Harvick and Joey Logano, both at 7.6. Tyler Reddick at 11.1 is going to be your fourth best highest finisher with an 11.1 average, like I just said. Then this one is going to sort of surprise people, I think. But Austin Dillon at number 5. So if he's set up as one of your mid-tier fantasy picks, definitely this is a good track for Austin Dillon with a 12.1 average finish. Kyle Larson at 13 is number 6. Eric Jones at 7th with 13.3. Ryan J. Newman at 13.6. And he is in this race driving for Rick Ware Racing. In fact, out-qualified, I think, Eric Jones or out-practiced him, one or the other. Martin Truex Jr., 14.0. Brad Keselowski is 14.3. Eric Almirola, Ty Gibbs, Alex Bowman, Kurt Busch, who's not in it, William Byron, Christopher Bell round out your top 15 of average finishers there. Of course, Bowman's not in it either, but, go ahead and insert Josh Berry there for that one because he's in the same car. So let's go take a look at race wins. And if you go to race wins, Kevin Harvick has 2 in the previous 6. These are all the previous 7 races, I should say, not all-time statistics. Denny Hamlin also has 2 wins. Martin Truex Jr. has 1. Eric Jones has 1. And Joey Logano also has 1. If you want to take a look at laps led, Martin Truex Jr. leads the way with 537. Kevin Harvick, 232. Denny Hamlin at 230. 190 for Joey Logano. 186 for Kyle Larson. 183 for Kyle Busch. Chase Elliott popping in at 142, and the only other driver with 100 laps led is Brad Keselowski at 102. Everybody else on this list is below that, including some previous winners like Eric Jones there. So there are your laps led, and if you want to go to, I know some people like to play the top 5, top 10 game. Denny Hamlin in the last 7 races has 5 top 10 or 5 top 5s. Kevin Harvick has 5 top 5s, so they're going to be your leaders there. Then at 3 apiece are going to be Eric Jones and Joey Logano. 2 apiece is Tyler Reddick, William Byron, Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, and Martin Truex Jr. with 2 top 5s apiece. And if you want to go top 10s, if you play that particular deal on the deal, that's 5 for Denny Hamlin, 6 for Kevin Harvick. Hold up, let me adjust this. 6 for Kevin Harvick, 5 for Joey Logano, 5 for Denny Hamlin, 4 for Martin Truex Jr. Eric Jones has 4 as well. 3 for Brad Keselowski. There's a lot of guys with 3. So Tyler Reddick, William Byron, Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, Kurt Busch, Alex Bowman, and Brad Keselowski, all with 3 top 10s. So we will go to the numbers. And as the numbers are laid, we saw that, let's see. Eric Jones has a good average finish there. He's got a plus 3,500. That's a pretty good line for him. Tyler Reddick at plus 1,200. He's up there on average finish. But then, of course, your favorites, plus 900 for Hamlin, plus 800 for Elliott, plus 750 for Byron. Byron, I would stay away from. He hasn't looked like he's had good numbers there from the statistics. Of course, because I say that, he'll probably win the race. Martin Truex Jr. At plus 700, of course, really good odds, and they're giving Kyle Larson the best, the worst betting odds, I should say. He is the favorite at plus 400. This is Bet MGM. They sponsor Austin Dillon, so I figured I'd go with their lines here on this particular one. And who is getting? Let's see, who's got the highest, the lowest, the best value bet, I guess I should say, of somebody that could probably do well. Plus 12,500 for Josh Berry, and plus 10,000 for Austin Dillon. So Austin Dillon and Josh Berry, I think, would be your good wild card bets there. All right, let's get into the chat because I'm sure I'm 5,000 miles behind on this one. Let's see. Camaro, what's going on? What's up? Happy race day, says Alex Doyle. What's up, Josh Strickland? Bumblebee, what's up? Let's see. Kyle came back to beat John Hunter. That was awesome. Yeah, that was a great finish for sure. Good camera work by Fox, showing the emotion of his family there as well. Bumblebee saying, what's up? Robin Marks, howdy from the Great White North. My two picks are Austin and Kevin, of course. I'll cheer on Ross. He said he's Noah. He and Noah are good. They talked. I like Ross. Yeah. They talked it out, hashed it out. They're good to go. They said they're laughing about it now. So that's the way it should go. Like, you shouldn't hold it past one race, in my opinion. But that's just the way I think about it. Watched the 2011 race at Darlington. The car sounds so much better than today. The new it's a different sound. They're definitely not as loud as they used to be. I'll put it that way. What's up, BB and everyone else? What's up, Joshua Jenkins? Hello and happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. That's right, Camaro 50. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I missed the Xfinity race yesterday. I was honestly too hungover and I drank and watched because I drank and watched the truck race Friday night. LOL, says Alex Doyle. Yep, so there you go. Little recovery race for you. So hopefully you're full strength today. So you can struggle through work on Monday if you want to do it again. Number 5 for the sweep this weekend, says Mark Barnum. Hopefully that would be good. He is favored by MGM, but of course the numbers are showing differently. So let's see here. Danny Moore, how's the one going to wreck this weekend? Well, the one doesn't wreck. The one has other cars bounce off of him. I think that's the main issue that people have. I guess with Ross Chastain if they don't like him. KFB for the win today. If not, then probably Larson or an HMS Chevy. Yeah, the Hendrick's pretty good here, and so is Joe Gibbs. So once again, by the numbers, Martin Truex and Denny Hamlin are looking good for Joe Gibbs, and then pick your Hendrick car. But it looks like Kyle Larson sort of has the best numbers of the Hendrick drivers that are in this particular race. Yes, Alex and KFB. Yes, Alex, KFB, saying Danny Moore. Homer Simpson, KFB or Ross for the win. No Fords in the top 5. So, yeah, that's another thing I wanted to touch on. According to Bob Pockris, NASCAR has looked at the wind tunnel numbers, and Ford is behind the curve. But he said, do not expect any changes for this season. So that's disappointing, but also interesting that NASCAR knows Ford's behind aerodynamic-wise, but isn't going to give them any help this season, according to Bob Pockris, his opinion on it. So that's I don't know. It's supposed to be the era of parity and evenness. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I don't think the Ford fans are going to be super happy with that. Honestly, I think Gregson's going to take a shot at Ross at some point today. He still ain't over last week. He got punked in front of the world. I mean, they said they're laughing about it, and they put it behind them. So we'll see. William Wagaman, didn't Kyle Larson stuff John Hunter Nemechek yesterday? Well deserved. They'll do it again today. Go Young Money. Denny the Dork Hamlin will be the first car out. Also, if we're going with first car out, I didn't even look at that one. But yeah, it looked like Kyle Larson bounced off the wall and got into Nemechek, and Nemechek was coming up. Like it's a tight racetrack, so I'm not going to say neither one was giving each other room. It's just a tight racetrack. It was Darlington racing. I didn't have a problem with it. But yeah, let's see. Alex Doyle says, well, then never mind on my last statement. LMAO, great job, BB. You appreciate it, Al. Truck race was surprisingly clean, says Mark Barnum. Yeah, the truck race was cleaner than the Xfinity race, according to what everybody said. I didn't see either one of them all the way. I just had to catch the highlights because I was at the racetrack myself. Joe Bob Purdue says, hey, BB, 1 week till North Wilkesboro. I hope it's awesome. I have concerns on the next gens on short tracks. Yeah, for sure. I'll be at North Wilkesboro for the Cars Tour late model race. We'll be helping Tate Fogelman on that one. Didn't know how that was going to go, so I had to keep it tight to the vest. But I will be there for the for the late model race, but not probably for the actual All-Star race. Matt Hunter, during his post-race press conference after winning, Larson spoke as if Truex was a clear favorite today. Also, yesterday's finish proves that Darlington is the best track on the schedule. Yeah, so there you go. According to the garage, because I'm sure Kyle Larson's looked at the practice numbers and stuff like that. Looks like Truex is going to be your favorite for the day. So if you want to go with what Kyle Larson said there, make your for entertainment purposes only, make your wagers accordingly on Martin Truex. So basically, NASCAR going to screw Ford seems legit, says Bumblebee. Yeah. Maybe Ford can come up with their own new nose. What's up, all? Says Say Kyle, not Cal. What's up, Say Kyle? Bumblebee. They do that every year. I'll say that as a Chevy fan. Yeah, the nerfing the front bumper last year, right before the Daytona 500, was the lamest crap I've ever seen. But it is what it is. Hopefully Ford can get it together. I guess for next season, I guess it's just going to be a dead year for Ford. I mean, that sucks. Like, I like to see a good manufacturer battle, and when one of them is just totally out of it, so far, like Ford is, that sucks. So hopefully Ford finds something, but yeah, that sucks. Sounds like Ford is getting screwed, says Homer Simpson. Yeah, like if they're behind in the wind tunnel in this era of parity, you would think that NASCAR would help them out, but it is what it is. Hi, y'all from Cortland, Idaho. Happy Mother's Day. Call your mom, says Cassandra Keller. So there you go. Call your mom. Tell her Happy Mother's Day. New Mustang nose next year might help Ford. Yeah. I guess it'll have to be for next year. They need to do something to tweak it, though. Hopefully NASCAR, this is just Bob Pockrass's opinion, but hopefully NASCAR steps in and gives them a little bump or something. A hot take, Ryan Newman will finish top 20 today, says Alex Doyle. He might. Like, this is a driver's track, so if you can put Rickware equipment on your back and carry it anywhere, this would be the track where you carry it. I want the 43 in that Jones boy to win today. If not, probably going to be a JGR, Toyota, or Larson. Yeah, I would like to see Eric Jones win if Kyle Larson can't. But it looks like a dead year for them, too, because they're switching to Toyota, so Chevy's not giving them any help. So it's going to be a tall task for him. Carson Hocevar, P6, in his Xfinity debut. Yes, good on old Carson. A polarizing figure in the garage, but for sure, definitely a good debut. I don't have a problem with him. I think he just races hard. He'll figure it out. He's a young kid. Mark Barnum saying hi to Cassandra. Philip Canavan, Larson, and Nemechek were just bouncing all over each other. Yeah, it's just a tight racetrack. Like, I don't think either one of them was being overtly dirty. You can't make a brick aerodynamic, says William Wagaman. I mean, that's for sure, but they're less aerodynamic than the other bricks that the next gen car is. I just wanted to say good morning to all. What's up, wise guy? We were working on those tank tops, so we're gonna get you ready. Yeah, speaking of which, I do a really bad job of this, but here we go. I do have the merch store up, and I'm glad that I remembered that for once. So there you go. I've partnered with Accelerated Graphics. There's going to be more stuff on that later on, but they are hosting the merch store. So there you go. If you want to buy the t-shirt, there will be more t-shirts hopefully this month. But right now we got the one t-shirt and the sticker pack, and we're just individual stickers as well. If you would like to take a look at those, there you go. Finally got the merch store up. Let's see. That Ford nose is flat as the old school Freightliners. Says Alex Doyle. Yeah, it doesn't look aerodynamic, and I guess the wind tunnel numbers prove that as well. But it really works at like Daytona and Talladega and Atlanta. Unfortunately, they haven't had the results to show for that because you can push better with it. So just circumstance, they've been the fastest at the ironically at the plate tracks because they can push each other, but they haven't had the results to show for it. So how did your team run this weekend, and what do you do for them? Denny Sucks, says Josh Strickland. We got this might sound familiar. We got third and fifth again. So we ran pretty good, but just didn't get the win. So everybody's bummed out that we're not winning. I'm not bummed out because I'm like, we're running really good. So I'm not super upset about it. Mark Barnum, you can always expect 2 cautions for Hocevar and the Gray brothers every truck race. Yeah, I mean that's every series. You can look at the guy that's going to be a caution every race. Let's see. Denny the Door Camlin, enough said, says William Wagaman. Kenny Wallace said NASCAR has taken control of the nose. So hopefully in the future they'll give Ford a little bump there and help them out then if NASCAR is in control of it, and have been working with Ford, not the teams, for weeks now, says Red Frog. So there you go. Hopefully they get it together. I'm just going off what Bob Pocker said on Twitter. Lost Knowledge, go number 1. So Watermelon fan for Lost Knowledge. This is a driver's track, so he might get it done here. Once again, his numbers are never really reflective because he drove for bad teams for a few years previous. So at least 4 out of his 7 starts here would be with teams that weren't necessarily as competitive as the teams he's with now. Cassandra Keller is going with Eric Jones. Go Ryan Newman. I want a top 10 or better. I don't know if he'll get a top 10 or better, but definitely if anybody can do it in that car, it's going to be Ryan Newman. Talking forwards, who will Childress crew chief for at Stuart Haas since he is returning? He'll probably crew chief for Josh Berry if I had to guess, Mark. Because I feel like Chase Briscoe's he's in a good he's got good rapport with his current crew chief. So I'm thinking it'll be Josh Berry when Josh Berry gets over there, allegedly, to the 4-car. Morning, and of course, they'll have to find a sponsor for him as well. So that's going to be interesting as well because we know Busch Light's going to Trackhouse. Cassandra Keller saying good morning, wise guy. One wise guy, much appreciated, BB. No problem, dude. Mark Barnum, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Yeah, he's the guarantee. A lot of people think he's the guarantee. Him and Harrison Burton, a lot of people think are the guaranteed wrecking cup. Good morning, Cassandra says wise guy. Red will go. He will go to Xfinity and crew chief for Haley Deegan in the 98. LOL. I don't know about all that. I do think we'll see Haley Deegan in Xfinity quite often, if not for the full time next season. Say Kyle Nakao was thinking about the 43 for fantasy, but he was 31st in 10 lap averages. I think Legacy will hold him back. Yeah, it's a good track for him, but I'm with you. I think just because it's a down year for them because they're switching manufacturers, I think it's going to be one of those deals where it just might be bad equipment for him and Noah all season. It sort of ruins the Rookie of the Year battle too. But it is what it is. Robin Marks, we need some more Canadian subs. Then you'll be an export hub up here. Half joking. You need to pander more to us hose heads. Yeah, I would like to get some Canadian content up, but I just don't have time. Hopefully in the off season, hopefully for once we'll have an off season that's not like completely insane. So we can get some. I can get some like other content out. But we'll see how it goes. Hey, that actually seems like something Tony would do. To be honest, that would be smart for investors. Says Red Frog. Let's see. He could. I was talking about moving Ricky Stenhouse to SHR. Could Dale Jr. show up as a open car? If he chose next week at the All-Star race, the NASCAR community would lose their mind, and it would be good for radio. It's the All-Star race, so I don't think there's any real rules. So he could, but he said over and over again he's done with Cup Series racing, so I don't think that's going to happen. He will be in the late model race, though, so check that out on Flow Racing TV, I think. Alex Doyle, I'm sure Junior could find a Cup chassis to show up and buy it from someone. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He could if he wanted to. I don't think he wants to. I think I just don't think he wants to. But I could be wrong. He said over and over again, though, that he's done with Cup racing. I'm excited for that Jones boy to be joining Toyota again, says one wise guy. Yeah, so I think they never really wanted to let him go, but they were in a tight spot. And this is one of the reasons that they have bought in that Toyota made sure they went ahead and partnered with Legacy. It takes away the monopoly that was Joe Gibbs Racing, because now you've got 2311 and Legacy Motor Club, and also a situation where Eric Jones was one of them. Another situation where they didn't want to let Kyle Busch go. That's another one. Now you have somewhere extra to stick them. You have more seats open. You don't have to just rely on the Joe Gibbs and 2311 rides. So I think it's a good move on Toyota's part, and I do think that they're probably not done. I think you might see one more team, and if I had to guess, I think it's going to be JTG Doherty. So that would be my guess there, and you would see somebody like Sammy Smith, John Hunter Nemechek, or Corey Heim slide into that seat. My favorite new drinking game is hearing Josh Sims ask whatever driver who just got knocked out of the race, what happened there from your perspective, says Matt Hunter. So there you go. Drink responsibly. Happy race day, all, says David Nyhoff. William Wagaman, Josh Sims. Happy race day to you as well, David. Josh Sims should go back to soccer. He has no business where he is, says William Wagaman. Hey, look, the guy's just trying to do a job. I'm not going to hate. He probably got stuck on that assignment. It's probably not an assignment he wanted, but at least he's going in there and doing his best. We all know the deal. We know what his stronger background is in, but as long as he's out there trying his best and he improves from year to year, I'm not going to drag the guy for that. Really happy to see Newman back. I don't care that he's not in the best equipment, says Josh Strickland. Same here, and I'm hoping he can do some Ryan Newman stuff and just pull a good finish out of equipment that's not good, because we've seen him do that in the past. He helped build Stuart Haas Racing. He went to Richard Childress Racing when they weren't necessarily as good as we've seen them in the past. and he's gone other places. He went to RFK. All the places he goes get better when he's there. So he's a guy. He's not going to get enough credit in his career for being a great driver, but he's a guy that has gone places and rebuilt franchises and made them better. So I think that's his legacy more than anything else. Say Kyle and Cal for the Canadian South Park fans. Just seeing Canadian alphabet. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the Canadian accent because I don't have a good one. But I know what you're talking about. I got plenty of South Park as a kid though, with my name being Kyle, of course. So a lot of Cartman. Not gonna say it on this one because YouTube's funny about words. Any news on Denny's contract? I feel like he doesn't get the deal done where he will either kick Bubba out or buy another contract for himself with 2311. A lot of people think Bubba Wallace is going to get kicked out of that ride. And I just don't get it. The dude brings in more money than probably any other driver other than Chase Elliott. He's won, the past 2 years? He's got 2 wins in the past 2 years. He might win this year. He might not win this year. But let's just say he doesn't win this year. 2 wins in 3 years is not the worst you can do for a Cup driver. So I don't see Bubba Wallace getting kicked out. Now, if Denny wants to move over there, that's where I'm saying maybe they buy a Rick Ware racing charter or something like that. But I don't know. I haven't heard anybody but fans talk about Denny Hamlin wanting to move with his 11 over to 2311. So that I don't know. I just feel like that's just a lot of fan speculation. I haven't seen anything where Denny Hamlin said that or anything like that. But I could be wrong. So I don't know. I just don't see that one happening. What's your favorite Darlington paint scheme? Says Homer Simpson. I like the Wheaties that Jeffrey Earnhardt ran. That's up there. I like the Adam Petty one on the Truck Series. And for the Cup Series, I guess I'll go with Chase Elliott because that's the one that's going to win. And I did like the Ken Block throwback as well. Oh yeah, forgot. Yep. We're repping the party podcast. So good luck to all the YouTubers down there and BJ McLeod. Hopefully he has a good run as well. Toyota wanting to keep and then going back and getting Eric is kind of also a big shade to Ford and Chevy. Like Toyota has supported a kid from those 2 manufacturers, home city nearby, says Red Frog. Yeah, so it's turning into sort of a big deal between, in my opinion, Toyota and Chevrolet. They're sort of like sniping each other. So Toyota went and got Tyler Reddick. Chevrolet went and got Kyle Busch. Toyota goes and gets Eric Jones and Jimmy Johnson, like the guy that is synonymous with Chevrolet for over a decade, winning them 7 titles. So it looks like a big pissing contest between Toyota and Chevrolet right now, in my opinion. So it's getting kind of funny. NASCAR weekly podcast, Boys Car got some airtime during Cup qualifying. Hey, hopefully it gets some airtime during the race. But big mainstream media doesn't necessarily like YouTube because it's crushed mainstream media's grip on viewership. So we'll see how much airtime that car gets. But that being said, I'm all here for it. I'm glad they did it, man. That's awesome, dude. Eventually a streaming service is going to take over and mainstream media is just going to have to partner with a streaming service. Think Netflix and Blockbuster, right? Blockbuster looked like it was an unstoppable behemoth. Netflix put them, just took them out of business basically. And I think the same thing is going to happen with streaming eventually with mainstream media on cable TV. Any prediction for the last place position? My prediction is Corey LaJoy and one wise guy saying B. I got you, buddy. Last place. Let's go. Let's do last place by the numbers. So if you're going by the numbers, Garrett Smithley, who's not in the race, has the worst average finish. Let me click this and make sure I got my numbers right here. Timmy Hill, BJ. Oh no, BJ McLeod, 32.5. BJ McLeod has the worst average finish here. Next on that list is going to be who's in the race. Would be the Ryan Newman car because it's Cody Ware, but I think Ryan Newman is going to lift that car higher than that. JJ Yaley would be the next on that list, and Corey LaJoy. So there you go. Corey LaJoy, JJ Yaley, I don't think JJ's even in this race, and then BJ McLeod. So BJ McLeod, Ryan Newman, or Corey LaJoy. I tell you what. I'm going to go off script. Because I think somebody really good is going to wreck in this race, and finish last because that's the trend. That's the trend that's been happening. So I am going to go. Let's see. A lot of people are picking. You know what? I'm going to go with a favorite. I'm going off script, and I'm going to go with a favorite. I don't want to do this because I'm going to be so wrong. I'm going to go with either Ty Gibbs or Tyler Reddick. I'm going Ty Gibbs or Tyler Reddick finishes last there. But by the numbers, you got to pick B.J. McLeod. I don't want to do that because now people are going to be like, you're hating on Tyler Reddick and Ty Gibbs. No, I'm not. I'm just trying to be different. Let's see here. I'm trying to be not boring and not go with the numbers there. Let's see. Chase Elliott is a wussy for having somebody else do what he wants to do to Ross Chastain. Jimmy Johnson needs to go away after screwing the Richard Petty family. And Chevrolet and Johnson, Toyota, I need to go away as well. So yeah, a lot of people were definitely not happy that they switched over to Toyota. That's for sure. But yeah, it's definitely turned into a pissing contest between Toyota, in my opinion, Toyota and Chevrolet. The way Cartman says Kyle is basically where my screen name came from. LOL. I do miss Kyle Busch's South Park pit boards back in the day. Oh yeah, those were awesome. I forgot about those. Good catch, say Kyle, not Kyle. One wise guy, he's gone anyways after that 500 win. Talking about Stenhouse, Red Frog's talking about Stenhouse. Alex Doyle, the only reason I think Bubba would get booted is if Denny can get a contract with JGR. Not for nothing, FedEx, since their reorganization, is doing really well as far as their stock prices go. So they might re-up for the exact same deal they're doing now. Although I will say FedEx is off the car more this year than I've ever seen them off the car. But I do think that they could possibly re-up for the exact same deal and it wouldn't hurt them at all. Previously, they were hurting stock-wise. The only reason, and market share, I think Bubba Wallace would get booted is if Denny can't get a contract done. That's the question I was supposed to answer. I just don't see him getting booted, man. Like, unless he starts running really poorly and loses sponsors or does something crazy and loses sponsors, I don't see him getting booted. RTJ has too big of sponsors, too big of a talent to not get a big ride after winning the 500 and making that JTG car competitive week in and week out, says Red Frog. I agree, but like the biggest knock on him is always he goes through and tears up too much equipment. So I don't know. That being said, I think he will possibly get if he wants to move. That's another question. If he wants to move or if they let him go. So not sure what his actual contract there is. I'm sure it's year to year, but we'll have to see. As a Chevy guy, I felt betrayed when Jimmy Johnson announced they were going to Toyota, but I get it. It's business first. Here's the deal for me. Look, whether you like Toyota or not, it is a better business move because it gets them better equipment. They're like eighth in line on Chevrolet equipment. They're not getting the best Chevrolet equipment as it is. So do you want to be an also ran or do you want to move further up the food chain? So the better equipment you get, the more often you're going to have better runs. And then they can switch manufacturer again if they think they're going to be up the food chain. So they're just doing what's best for them. So I get it. There are brand loyal fans, and I understand that. But from a business perspective, it makes total sense what they did. William Wagaman, when you're moving into your new studio, I'm not ever fully moving into it. It's just an alternate studio. I like your picture last night. Is the best one? Is that the best one the Popo can take? Says William. That's just my for whatever reason I use Pit Pay or whatever. That's the picture they have on file. I think it's my driver's license or my old driver's license picture, but so I guess they just keep the old driver's license picture on file infinitely. Speaking of Kyle Petty scheme, maybe Allen will stop trying to wreck Haley every race after she put him into the wall. I'm glad she stood up for herself. I did see that highlight, so yeah, hopefully. Let's see. Jimmy Johnson's deal is all on Chevrolet, says Brian Chastain. I guess Chevrolet should have stepped up. Let's see. Jamie Schweitzer just became a member. What's up, Jamie? Appreciate it. Fist bump there. Let's see. Where was I at? Lost my spot. LaJoy is going to the back. If you missed your comment, I apologize. No, I didn't. Here we go. Josh Strickland says, "How did Chevy not step up? JJ 7-time champ. Seems like you bend over backwards for him." That's what a lot of people are saying. I know Door Bumper Clear was surprised by that. Corey LaJoy going to the back for a part change, says Mark Barnum. So there you go. That might be trending for Corey LaJoy to finish last. I'll put my house. I'll put my house on the race ends in overtime. LOL, says Red Frog. Oh, that's a good bet too. Like that's probably a prop bet that you can make at the actual casino for entertainment purposes only. So yeah, like that's probably a good one every week. JJ does what I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take it doesn't end in overtime. So I'm probably just losing all types of money today. JJ does what makes business sense, says Mark Langren. Yeah, for sure. Jimmy Johnson wants Roy. I don't know what Roy is there, Claude. I'll have to think on that one. Joshua Jenkins, Legacy went to Toyota so they can get more support than what they were at Chevy. Jimmy said they weren't getting enough. They were a partner, but not a key partner. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're a key partner with Toyota. So it makes sense for them. Come on with Chase. I hate BS. Clyde had no idea that would happen. Laughing my butt off, says Jason Ratcliffe. Ross needs to quit crashing or he will be gone out of NASCAR at the end of the season. That's my hot take for this week. I don't know. I think Trackhouse is all in on Ross Chastain. I think they're also all in on Daniel Hemrick. Daniel Suarez as well. Did you see Kyle Larson get popped in the face with a report microphone yesterday? He was happy about it, says one wise guy. I did not see that. I didn't see much of anything yesterday. I was at the racetrack and we got most of the race in. Did get rained out at the very end of the last race, but it wouldn't have made a difference. Peyton Sellers was winning that rascal anyway. When that 26 is on, he's on. And also when that 5 car this year is on, he's on. So they split the races. So good on them. I get business and Chevy should not let go. Let not Jimmy Johnson go, says Josh Strickland. Carter Langley being the 5 car in the late model race. Also, because Kyle Larson was driving the 10 car yesterday. Sorry. Should have cleared that up. Carter Langley and Peyton Sellers won the races that we were at yesterday, participating in. Yeah, that Ricky Rudd throwback is nice, though, Matt Hunter. I agree with you. Yeah. Even though the number doesn't match, it's still a pretty accurate throwback. So that Suarez car definitely is definitely fire. I get business. Chevy should not let Jimmy Johnson go, says Josh Strickland. Yeah, it's tough, and I felt the same way. I thought Chevy is stupid for letting Jimmy Johnson go, but Jimmy Johnson is smart for taking the better deal. Toyota was stupid for letting Kyle Busch go, no matter how it came about. But they let they let Kyle Busch go, so it is what it is. Michael Jordan will fund Bubba out of his own pocket, says Claude, but he doesn't have to. Like that's what I don't get. Like Bubba Wallace is bringing in plenty of funding. Like we're not talking about Stuart Haas, where Haas is funding everybody over there. Like Bubba Wallace is bringing in tons of sponsors. So as long as you're bringing in tons of sponsors and you're not running terrible, like I don't get this whole Bubba Wallace is in trouble over at 2311. No, he's not. So we'll see. You mean freight shakers? Do you know what a Polish liner is? Says Mark Langren. I'm not a trucker, so I don't I don't get that the trucker lingo on that one. They should bring back and race the UPS truck, says one wise guy. Yeah, Hostval raced a truck, but it wasn't the truck. But they definitely should bring that ad campaign back now that UPS has sort of dipped its toe back into the waters. Red Frog talking about this year. Ratcliffe, maybe Chevy should have made sure Jimmy Johnson got an engine for Indy 500. Then maybe he wouldn't have taken Legacy to Toyota. So yeah, that's the other thing. Jimmy Johnson has driven for Honda more recently. So he's already switched from Chevy technically a while back. Stenhouse to the Wood Brothers, says Cassandra Keller. I mean, yeah, I can see that happening, but with Ford sort of behind the 8 ball on the nose, is that a move? Does he see the Wood Brothers as better than JTG Doherty? I don't know. Homer Simpson, Chevy should have given Legacy the same deal Toyota did. I blame Chevy for JJ leaving. So there you go. I guess that's a poll question. Start a poll. Is Chevy to blame for there we go. We'll make that the poll question. And whenever I put the poll question up, I lose my spot. So we're just going to start here. NASCAR should give Ross a paycheck for all the publicity. I think so too. Dale Jarrett throwback is sick. Yeah, and he actually had an interview where he defended Ross Chastain's style right after talking about how clean his dad was. Bob Pockers posted that on Twitter, so check it out. Fox would rather show USFL than NASCAR, says Tate Chasers. Yeah, that's lame as crap. I agree with you. That's so stupid. Dirt will premiere on FX1 on Tuesday night. Should be a good show. So, yeah, check that out on FS1 in your region. Check for the times. Sometimes business sucks, says Josh Strickland. Yeah, it's part of it. Is the race on Fox for FS1 today? I'm pretty sure it's on FS1. What's up, BB? Can you give me some good fantasy drivers to pick for today's race? I have Logano, Larson, Jones, Suarez, Briscoe, and Barry. So I'll just read the top 15 in average finish. Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick, Austin Dillon, Kyle Larson, Eric Jones, Ryan J. Newman, Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, Eric Almirola, Ty Gibbs, Alex Bowman, Kurt Busch, William Byron, Christopher Bell are going to be your top 16 because I think there is somebody in there that's not in the race. I think Bowman's up in there. Yeah, Bowman's 13th, but he is not in the race. So those are your top 15 for fantasy. So configure that however you would configure it. Let's see. And I lost my place because I switched screens. So let me see here. 23 will win one of the next 3 races. NASCAR will see to it if he has to stay out. If he can stay out of the wall, enough said, says Horse Dog. So yeah, as always, Bubba Wallace is polarizing. You either pull for him or you don't. Seems to be the deal on that one. Races on FS1, says Camaro 50. What's your underdog pick? Underdog pick, I'm going with Austin Dillon for sure. And I guess the other underdog pick, the more popular one is going to be Josh Berry. But let's see, what's another underdog? I feel like I pick Austin Dillon as the underdog every week. So that's Tyler Reddick, I guess, would be an underdog. Is he considered an underdog? Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs, if you consider Ty Gibbs an underdog. So those will be the guys I look at as an underdog pick. Brad Keselowski, if you even consider a past champion as an underdog pick, I would put Brad Keselowski in there as an underdog pick as well. So those would be my picks. And if you're going for favorites, I'm going either Kyle Larson or Martin Truex Jr. Flip a coin. Correction, that was not UPS. That was just a third-party sponsorship. Yep, but they also Worldwide Express talked to UPS and asked them if they could be on the truck. So there you go. UPS has dipped their toe in. Actually, not UPS. Worldwide Express is just using a third-party sponsorship thing to make it look like a UPS, but it's not actually. All right, so there we go. All right, thanks, guys. Alex Doyle. Let's see. Cassandra, hopefully things are better, says Mark Langren. I missed something contextually. Who do you think will finish closer to the front, Christopher Bell or Ryan Blaney? I'm going to go with Christopher Bell, although this is the time of the year where last year Christopher Bell went into a slump, so did William Byron. So look for that. If you want to factor that in. USFL is on the main Fox channel. I don't know why their ratings are terrible. Agreed, Camaro 50, 100%. It's amazing that the new mainstream media is just trying to force things down people's throats instead of just going with what's the most popular and putting that on the main channel. I just don't get it. I don't get their thought process behind that. Ryan is ahead of Bell. Mark Langren taking Ryan Blaney ahead of Bell. Who's your driver you never cared for? BB, says Alex Doyle. As an Earnhardt fan, just anybody that I felt like did something bad to Dale Earnhardt Sr. back in the day. There was at times like I hated Ricky Rudd. There were definitely times I hated Jeff Bodine, Jeremy Mayfield. Let's see, name one. So I can't think of one that I was absolutely just like, oh, this guy sucks. I can't stand him. Josh Strickland saying, oh yeah, then he sucks. if y'all didn't know. So if you ask Josh Strickland that question, he's going to say Denny Hamlin for sure. Cash is king. Teams seem to enjoy the monarchy, says Johnny Five Plays. So yeah, the teams definitely now that NASCAR went to the charter system, it's given the teams more power, and the teams are going to make sure NASCAR stays with the charter system. So that was, I guess, the biggest news of this week. Let them have the USFL on the main channel. They will learn, says William Wagaman. Yeah, they're going to learn the hard way, it looks like, after they all get replaced with streaming. How does it make sense for Fox to go USL over NASCAR? Ratings are by far in NASCAR's favor, says Jason Ratcliffe. Yeah, I don't get it. It's just stupid, in my opinion. What's up, BB? What's up, T-Van? I would love to see NASCAR develop an all-encompassing app streaming service, less commercials, and have all the previous races available to watch, similar to how WWE operates. I would too. I think that's a good model that they could look at and go off of. MLB does a very similar thing. MLB probably does the best job. In all reality, and MLB is on YouTube this year. So take that for what it is worth. In all reality, Chevy isn't really to blame. They just want to pass by the Chevy teams that have been forever in Cup. But watch if Junior goes Cup racing. If Junior goes Cup racing, Spire will probably be the if he buys Spire. That's my easy way in for Junior. So I think if Junior comes in, he's going to buy into Spire or buy Spire out completely. You would see Spire, that shop, be bumped up to top dog status. Have you heard anything more about the Brickyard coming back next year instead of the road courses, Joshua Jenkins? I mean, you always hear a lot of talk about it, so that talk has to come from somewhere, right? Denny's all right, and I'm talking about like drivers talking about it. So typically when the drivers are talking about it, that talk comes from somewhere. Alex says Denny's all right. I just don't like the fact that he's such a hypocrite on rough racing. That's my only issue with him too. He complains about people racing him too hard, but will dump you in a heartbeat to win. Yeah, that's my only actual legitimate complaint about Denny Hamlin. Football is the American sport, says Mark Langren. It is, but it doesn't get better ratings than NASCAR, and I don't think the USFL ever will. I'm talking about USFL. Obviously, NFL does. Underdog pick for me is Ross Chastain. An overall pick would be YRB, Team Penske, says Jamie Schweitzer. That 48 throwback is so sweet. I don't want to hear the Kevin Hamlin BS. That is a Davey Allison throwback. The Kevin Hamlin car was a throwback to the original 80s Allison Texaco Haviland scheme. Yeah, for sure. Anytime you do a Davey Allison throwback, that's one of the iconic greatest paint schemes of all time, for sure. Danny the Dork Hamlin and no football is not America's sport. Motorsports is, because it becomes before any of them, is auto racing, says William Wagaman. I mean, well, if you want to get technical about it, America's favorite pastime is baseball, even though they don't get the ratings anymore, but is the official pastime is baseball. I like the USFL, but get it off my TV when I want to watch NASCAR, says Johnny Five Plays. I'm not saying the USFL is a bad product. I'm just saying it doesn't have the ratings. I think fans are pissed off at Bubba Wallace because of the nonsense that was brought up. Not so much his performance on the track. He is a decent driver, says Claude Williams. I mean, I think you're spot on with that. I think that is 100% why most people dislike Bubba Wallace. Not only that incident, which I think originally was just a mistake that he had no control of, but when he doubled down on it with the documentary, I think that's when most people were like, that's not my dude. So I think you're right about that. So you don't like Terry Labonte, says Mark Langren. I always liked Terry Labonte. That was, and he didn't do anything to Earnhardt. Earnhardt did something to him. So that's a whole different situation. That's one of those situations where I was like, come on, Dale. Like, why did you have to do that? Even Earnhardt, in those two moments at Bristol, he knew the deal. He knew he screwed up. It's better for legacy. And like I said, that was a while back. I don't hate Ricky Rudd now. And I didn't hate him past 1 or 2 seasons. By the time he was driving the number 5 tide for Hendrick, I was over it. It's better for legacy to compete to the second best Toyota team versus the 5th or 7th Chevy organization. I mean, third, they would probably be the 3rd best Toyota team. But yeah, either way, it just makes sense for them to go and do that. I'm picking a Ford until they get their problem. I'm not picking a Ford until they get their problems figured out, says David Nyhoff. So, I mean, I think that's a fair pick. although Darlington seems to be more about tires than aero, but that being said, we'll have to see what happens. I was in attendance at Rudd's last win. It was so hot that day, over 100 in Martinsville in October, says Jason Ratcliffe. Yeah, Martinsville, the weather is always an issue. It's either really hot or it's really just bad, rainy, wet weather. It's at both extremes for both of the races on the bookends of it there. Looking forward to see Flipper Edwards in the booth today. Yeah, the booth is definitely going to be really cool. They also had a good booth for trucks or whatever when Mario Andretti was in there, so that was cool. Didn't Jeremy Mayfield get his first win by wrecking Dale? Says Homer Simpson. I don't remember if it was his first win or not, but he definitely moved Dale Sr. out of the way to get a win. And I wasn't happy that day. Going to the rear for unapproved adjustments, 7 Corey LaJoy and 15 of Brendan Poole. Oh, so Brendan Poole is in this race. So there you go. In that case, I'm going with Brendan Poole to finish last. I haven't looked at the full rundown. I just look at sort of the guys who I think is going to win. I keep forgetting I got to do the who's going to finish last. So I'm changing my finishing last pick to Brendan Poole. For me, it is I just never liked Kyle Petty. I didn't hate him or didn't like him. Racing in his blood, and he underperformed constantly, says Alex Doyle. Yeah, so I tell you what, there is one race car driver who I do freaking hate and never will like, Rick Crawford. Google Rick Crawford and you can figure that one out. So there you go. There is one. But yeah, Kyle Petty, I always like Kyle Petty. That's who I was named after. So that was obviously built in. Brought some German potato salad while watching IMSA, says Mark Langren. Hey, there you go. Nothing wrong with that. That sounds good. German potato salad or the yellow mustard potato salad. I don't know how anybody in their 30s couldn't like Terry. We were kids when he was racing, and he had the Tony the Tiger car. Oh yeah, that was a good looking car too. Like all of Terry Labonte's Kellogg's cars were pretty iconic, even the yellow one. Mark Langren, you're going to fall asleep before the race starts, says William Wagaman. Do you play the bracket? I don't play the bracket. I felt it's like a gimmick, and I haven't even looked into it, so I don't even take it seriously. I'm just going to be totally honest with you. I'm more interested in fantasy and betting. I think the bracket is a gimmick. I just think it's stupid, effing stupid. I don't get it. I think it's. I just don't. I don't know. It's. I don't know. I'm trying to be polite. I think it's about as intelligent as the playoff system we've got. Like I feel like we're doing more playoff gimmicky stuff instead of going away from the playoff system. So. It's not for me, and I'll put it at that. Ricky Rudd was my dad's favorite. I got 3 different Haviline diecast of his in the 15 car, all handed down when my old man passed away. So there you go. Ricky Rudd he was definitely an all-timer, one of the toughest customers that ever raced in a car. That's for sure. And yeah, definitely. I can't remember anybody he ran poorly for. It's the Baloney Man in all his glory. Love the Baloney Man. What's up, Big Wheel? Good to see you on here. What's up, Hawaii, as well? So Bikini finished in the top 15, says Mark Langren. I don't know. I didn't even see the finishing order. She did the race previous though. Later, everybody. Catch you guys later on the stream. One wise guy. Yep, we'll do it right after the race as well. He Who says peace. What's up, He Who? Porsche podium. We now know the Minnesota team with a Porsche, says Mark Langren. So there you go. And I got Porsche right for sure. You got E-Step. I've got the Party Podcast on. It's not just E-Step. It's all of them. You got Danny B. You got Black Flags Matter. You got the Iceberg. And there you go. You got old E-Step himself in there as well. So yeah, I am rocking with them. I think what they're doing is really cool. So I hope BJ McLeod has a good run today for them. But either way, it's just really cool that they're doing their deal. They can take the USFL and put a frog on their Coca-Cola commercial and a Ram truck commercial and broadcast the crap out of it. Hey, there you go. I mean, if they're getting the sponsor money for it, I guess that's why they're in there. I don't know. I hope you consider a video with your prediction for the Sweet 16 in the NASCAR playoffs and what makes you pick each driver in that list. I've done those before. They don't do really well, but I'll do another one. No problem. Not a problem at all. When NASCAR does throwback schemes, they should try to get the original sponsor too. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but it's just so hard. I'm just glad that they do the throwback. As long as the throwback is they've got the right number font, they've got the right letter font, whether it's the same sponsor or not, I can live with it. And it's got to be the same color scheme. Like the Kyle Larson letdown was when he did the Davey Allison, but it was silver and blue for DC Solar. That sucked. Kyle never had top equipment, says Mark Langren. Yeah, he was never in the creme de la creme, but he had decent equipment for a little while over there at Sabco. Hot bacon, says Mark Langren. Brendan Poole is better than people think. Uh, I'm not talking about whether Brendan Poole is good or bad. I'm just talking about the equipment he's in. He gets the best out of the equipment. I wish people can understand that some reason I love to make fun of him, especially Ross Chastain fans who blame him for Dover. Well, he did let out, but it's on both of them. Ross Chastain shouldn't have pushed the issue, and he shouldn't have let off quite that early. So it was tit for tat there, but definitely at least 66% on. We'll go 69% on Ross Chastain there. Nice number percentage wise. Robin Marks says Ricky Rudd. Yeah, Ricky Rudd was awesome, dude. Rudd never took crap from any driver, says David Nyhoff. I agree with you. Kyle Petty stated that racing was never in his heart. He raced mainly because it was his family business. Yeah, and that's what's unfortunate. Because for him to be that talented and not really give a crap, like, it sucks, man. A lot of people dream of being that talented, and it's the only thing they love, and they just didn't get the talent that he had. He was frustrating, but he was very interesting from a personality standpoint. He sort of reminds me of a really good Michael Waltrip. Fantasy, all sports, and Michael Waltrip statistically, you might think Michael Waltrip was a great driver, and he might have been, but statistically, I'm talking about, he didn't have as many wins as Kyle Petty. In my opinion, fantasy, ESP, NASCAR is ridiculous. Betting on sports equals taxes on dummies, says Jason Ratcliffe. Yeah, but some people need the in other sports that they don't care about. Some people need the action to watch it. So it is what it is. Thomas Nichols, what's up, BB? How's it going? Hoping to eat some watermelon after the win today, says Thomas Nichols. Hey, so there you go. Hopefully your guy can get it done there. Of course, talking about Ross Chastain. Rudd the Rooster was a good man. Big Wheel, Ricky Rudd, tough man. Got my vote when he had to tape his eye. Tough. I agree with you, Big Wheel. That's the most. Will got to run. Have fun. All right, y'all take them easy. Jason Ratcliffe, good to see you on here as always. Listen to the sauna on the Baltic Sea. Happy to catch up those episodes. Thanks for work, mate. No problem, Lindsay. Glad to have you on here. Glad to see you back for sure. Down there, I think you're in England now, but originally from Australia. Trying to remember everybody on here. Rudd was a hard-nosed racer. Yeah, Ricky Rudd is as tough as they come. Red Frog, yeah, that's super cool. What those dudes are doing with their iPod. Not a giant E-Step fan, but the iceberg keeps me coming back, says Red Frog. So there you go. There's somebody in there. Everybody, I think. Name me 5 baseball players that you can name right off the top of your head right now. You can't because they're all from Puerto Rico, says William Wagaman. 5 baseball players. Let's see. Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper, Mike Trout. Yeah, so there you go. That's 3, right? And there's some other ones I can't think of off the top of my head. Didi Gregorius, is he still playing? Robinson Cano, he's retired. Yeah, I don't know. I can't do it off the top of my head. That's a good point, but it is America's pastime for sure. Got the top 75 on the FS1 race day. Any thoughts on what Dale Jr. said? Jr. didn't have a driver's license for the better part of a decade due to several DUIs and still could drive NASCAR. I mean, it is what it is. It was a different era back then. Rob Moroso is the reason that rule actually changed. So different era. So I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to judge that era. There's a very famous clip on the internet talking about when drinking and driving in a car was first implemented, and the people in that commercial clip are saying it's communism and stuff like that. So it was a different era. They had a different thought process. So I'm not going to judge on that era. But if he did it now, obviously it would be bad. So I can't. I'm not one of those people that's going to judge a different time frame based on the morals of the day. So that's. If he did it today, it would obviously be terrible. Let's see. Ross Chastain is our generation's Dale Earnhardt. It's just facts, but Ross is owed one, says Alex Doyle. I feel like Earnhardt Sr. still has some owed to him. Like, he just got so many people, and that's as an Earnhardt Sr. fan. Robin Marks saying Melonhead. Yep. Instead of Ironhead, we got Melonhead now. I like that. Do you remember the tape? Says Mark Langren. I do remember the tape when he taped his eyes open. BB, did you pre-order the diecast to get your name on? I got the diecast, but I didn't get in there in time to get my name on the car. But I was going to try to, but I missed out. I wish Sharpie and Tide would have come back for the race this year. Says T Van. I agree. Same here. But Tide has gone over to colleague, so it would have to be a colleague deal. So they would have to do a colleague number 10, which would line up really well for Ricky Rudd. So I was hoping to see a colleague 10 because they did that for the Bristol Dirt Race. Before I head out, just going to say I'm impressed with Carson this weekend. Didn't cause a single accident. Didn't try to wreck anyone. Kept his nose clean. Both truck and Xfinity did a great job. Yeah, I think Carson Hocevar is really coming into his own, and he's growing up in front of us. So it's going to be really cool. I remember when Rudd won at Martinsville with a broken cool suit on a 98-degree day, says David Niehoff. Yeah, that was really cool for sure. Back in the day, these cars got way hotter than they didn't understand, I guess, how to get the cool shirts and stuff in either. So that was definitely a task back in the day. Jamie Schweitzer, I hopped in 4-cylinder at a 13 at my home track and was in streets like it's 15. You don't need a driver's license to race a car, says Alex Doyle. That's true. That's true. And the funny thing is, Earnhardt was doing highway patrol. He was on a whole lot of highway patrol commercials too in the 90s. I don't know about the 80s. So that would be sort of maybe a way that he got back in the good graces to get his driver's license back. So I find that interesting as well. And also from previous Dale Jr. download episodes, we know Dale Jr. was driving. So he was probably just driving without a license, which is interesting. I can't wait to get my baloney shirt, says T-Van. I helped ship one Friday. So if you put your order in before Friday, I might have been the one that actually put it in the mail. Let's see. Otherwise, it'll be Monday before they get it in the mail. So let's see. Homer Simpson, baseball is America's pastime in name only. I mean, yeah, but it is what it is. I'm just saying, if you're going to look at it factually in a dictionary or something like that, that's what it's going to say as America's pastime. Peace out, people. Denny sucks, says Josh Strickland. Alex Doyle, we're going to stay on here for just a couple more minutes, and I'm going to hop off myself. Alex Doyle, Dale Earnhardt won races where Chastain needs to improve to rise to that level. I mean, I agree with that. I'm not talking about talent-wise. I'm talking about how he's perceived and received by the fans. America, 1945 to 1991. If it's red, it's dead, says Alex Doyle. They are announcing the drivers. Enjoy the race today, everyone. I'm picking KFB for the win. To tie JGR for wins. Hey, so there you go. That will be another storyline to follow there. Iceberg is my favorite of the podcasters. E-Step is second. Darian is too manic, and Danny B stutters more than Porky the Pig on top of his list, which I know he can't help that, says Matt Hunter. I like them all. They're all good dudes. And so, yeah, I support all of them. So, I don't know. They're all tied for number one as far as I go on the NWP. Alex Doyle saying, Jamie, you're right. Mark Langren, Texas and Florida had drive-throughs, and it was legal to drive less people and more respect when driving, says Mark Langren. I'm ordering my BB shirt today, says Jamie Schweitzer. Hey, so there you go. Just in case, I guess since we're talking about it, I'll put it down there again. There is the site right there if you want to know where to get them. I'm trying to get better at doing that because this is a partnership, so I do need to pump them out. I guess reasonably often. I'm not gonna go Fox commercials on it. But when I was young, I had to be 18 to drive at the track, says Mark Langren. Yeah, it's different rules for different states, and I know NASCAR now. It's also track to track. But I know NASCAR has their own rules on it now, I think. And I think it's pretty young that you can get in a late model. I think you can still get in a late model at 15, but you have to race all the other stuff when you're younger. They just showed Ross and Noah sitting and talking for NASCAR sanctioning. Now, if you're at an outlaw track, you can see some 11 and 12-year-olds in late models, and I have seen that. And some of them are really good, so not taking anything away from them. Mark Barnum saying they just showed Ross and Noah sitting and talking. Okay, so yeah, they're actually showing the stuff at the track now. So I'll probably jump off here in just a minute. I'm going to read all the way down to the bottom of this one, and then I'm going to hop off. Camaro 50, appreciate it, man, with the super chat, dude. I appreciate that for sure. Let's see. Before I leave, what a great technical debut, because his Coda start really wasn't supposed to be a debut for him. Inspire, like a 6th place finish, amazing for their first. Congrats to him, says Molten Rage. Yeah, he's doing a great job. I think he's a great talent. Obviously, like every young kid, there's some things he can clean up, and I think he's working on cleaning those things up. So I think Carson Hocevar has a bright future, no doubt about it. Let's see here. Ross and Noah sitting there talking to each other. I guess they ironed out their they came across Ross Chastain was interviewed, and he said they had worked it out, and they're now laughing about it now. So yeah, they're good to go. I live up in the Northeast Pennsylvania. You raced at Evergreen Park. You had to be 12 or older to drive anything bigger than a Bandolero. So there you go. That is the cutoff. Jamie Schweitzer, appreciate it with the super chat, man. Thank you very much. Lindsey Weston, in rally, you need a valid driver's license. I remember, I think Peter Solberg got done for speeding in a rally, and the co-driver had to drive the car in a special stage. That's awesome, man. I didn't even know that. So I know the driving laws in Europe as a whole, but particularly in England, the penalties for poor driving are much more stringent. I think because you got more people in a tighter space, I guess, than in the United States. But I know that they take their driving laws over there way tougher traditionally than we have in the United States. The United States has started to crack down more recently, but yeah. There was a time in the 80s where it was just commonplace for people to drink and drive, and they thought nothing of it. So that's why I'm saying it doesn't surprise me that Dale Sr. was doing that. But yeah, it's definitely really cool that the that the co-pilot had to drive the car there. The navigator had to drive the car, so I'm sure he got a different appreciation for navigating after having to do that. And a great 5th place finish in the trucks for Carson as well, says Molten. 24 car for the win today. Enjoy the race, everyone, says Say Kyle. I remember Dale Sr. driving a pink race car before becoming a huge name. Yeah, it was supposed to be purple, but he mixed the colors together, and they sort of made that pink looking K2 car. I think it was a 55 Chevy. I think it was a 55 Chevy, but I might be wrong about that. Let's see. Hello, folks. What's up, Sha? PCA and sports car. Mark Langren, good job, Camaro. Hey, the Camaro did something good. So not often in sports cars that they at least the IMSA ones I've been watching, they had been behind the 8 ball recently. Don't forget the poll. Oh, yep, I'm gonna close the poll. Break with tradition and close the poll before I sign off here. Thanks for another great show, says Jamie. Boogity boogity boogity. Good job, Jamie. Need to figure it out, says Mark Langren. I really hope Carson starts being clean like he did this weekend. I think he will be. Molten. Hey, man, thanks for the stream, says Alex. The pink K2 car was a 56 Ford. Okay, so 56 Ford. And last one, Chrome Diesel. If you saw the Xfinity race yesterday, stage 2 was straight up an embarrassment. Caution after caution. Yeah, we touched on that. It was for once, they outdid the Truck Series on caution. All started from a stage restart. That's why I despise stage racing. It just promotes more crashing. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not a big fan. I don't mind the stages, but you got to stopping the race because it ruins strategy. It just really having a caution for something other than an actual incident it just ruins the strategy. I can deal with it if it's for an actual incident because then you got to react to it. But when you can plan for a caution coming out, it's just never a good thing strategy wise. All right, I'm going to jump off and watch the race. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for hanging out and peace. The next one will be tonight after the race, obviously. So, all right, there we go.